everybody, welcome back, and this is my monthly hobby nut haul, hobbynutmodels.com. I love getting these orders in because it's supplies and things that I need, and occasionally, more often than not, Mark will throw something in there that I wasn't expecting, and that's really cool. So we'll show that at the end, but I just want to go through and show you some of the stuff that I got. It's no MCW paint this time, believe it or not, none at all. So let me show you what I got here. Yeah, no MCW paint, which is very odd for me to not get any MCW paint. So what I got this time was Tamiya paints. I'll just get them all over here. And the reason I got these particular ones is they make great interior paints. Especially, for the most part, these are flats. And if you want to gloss your interiors, you can add a gloss coat, but I find I like my interiors more of a flat or semi-gloss. So these are all kind of interior colors, except for flat black. You always need flat black though. This stuff's great. I spray most of my chassis and things with that. I also use the flat black MCW paint. It's a little more, it's almost like a satin rather than a flat, but the Tamiya flat black is true flat. So I got one of those. Got a linoleum deck brown, and I will mix these colors. Sometimes I'll take a tan and a brown and mix them to get whichever desired color you want. So that's why I got a several different linoleum deck brown. I might have got two of those. This is red brown 2. I don't know why it's called red brown, because I don't see a lick of red in it. Almost has a green tint to it, but anyway, that's red brown 2. This is NATO brown. And these are all very similar as far as the cap goes. They're very similar, and I don't know if they try. I guess they do, because you can tell this one's more brown than these two. These two caps are nearly the same, but I guess they try to get the color as close as possible on the caps. Here's just brown, and then we have yellow brown, and again, I don't know, I guess just has a more tan tint to it than yellow, but yeah, yellow brown. And then we have a light sand. This will make a nice interior color. Light sand buff. Looks like tan to me, but it's called buff. I guess buff is a color. And light brown. Did I already have a light brown? No, just light sand. So that's light brown. Here's a green. This is dark green 2. Dark green 2. Dark green. Dark iron. I didn't get this for interior colors, so I just wanted to see what that would look like on some stuff. Dark iron. And here is a dark ghost gray. That would make a nice interior color there. And light ghost gray. So those are my Tamiya colors that I intended on using for interiors. And then I got another bottle of, this stuff lasts a really long time though. Tamiya extra thin cement. This is like if I'm gluing non-painted styrene, this is what I use. If it's painted styrene, I'll use super glue. And but this is my go-to stuff right here. I've never tried the other. I've always used the extra thin. It just seems to work so well. It wicks into the places where you need it, and it melts that plastic in no time. So I got one of these, and like I say, this will last you. I bet you could build 30 cars with one of these. It just lasts forever. So you don't have to refill these very often or get a replacement. But when you do, you can go to Hobby Nut Models and get yourself one. And then so if I use super glue, you need the, well, you don't need it, but I use the Accelerator. And I use the Accelerator in, let me grab it, where is it? It's right here. I put my Accelerator in one of these. So I bought these, this is Hobby Lobby's where I got this. That's loose. But it's, so I'll put it in there, and it's a dropper. It's like almost like a needle point. And I'll just, you don't have to spray it, because if you use the sprayer, that's fine, but it gets all over everything. And you can direct it right where you want it with this. So it'll drop right out of the end. Put it right where you put your super glue. Add your Bob Smith Industries Accelerator, and this stuff also lasts forever. I will just pour this in and refill this, and man, that will last a year or two right there. That will last a really long time. So Bob Smith Industries Accelerator for all CA glues, 8 to 10 seconds, and it's quick, and it will also cut down on your the white smoke that you'll get off of your super glues. If you don't use Accelerator, you will tend to get some smoke or the haze around it. But if you hit it with the Accelerator, it ends all that, so you don't get any of that. So I recommend that you get some of that Accelerator if you're using super glue very often, and that way you can eliminate that haze. And then I got another bottle of stuff is wonderful. Green Stuff World right there. This is the Airbrush Paint. So this is pre-mixed. It's ready to go right in your airbrush. Shake it up, put a few drops in there. It doesn't take much. And one of these bottles will also last you quite some time. That's some good stuff. Green Stuff World, some of the best chrome they make. But I usually, it just depends. When I'm airbrushing, need to do some chrome or an engine or something like that, it's whatever I grab. It may be Green Stuff World, it may be AK, it may be Alclad. But I recommend all of it going over a very glossy black base if you're going for chrome. If you're going for chrome, I use Tamiya Gloss Black. Spray that, get a really nice smooth flat or gloss black coat, and then you haze that Green Stuff World or whatever other chrome paint you may be using. You haze it and you spray it at somewhat of an angle. So let me, just for instance, if you're painting this wheel, you've already by the way, this wheel is available at mcwproducts.net. This is just some of the extras. I think I knocked the valve stem off this one, so I can't sell it, but anyway, so you would paint this flat black. All this would be flat black. I mean flat black, gloss black. So you'd have a great coat of gloss black. And then when you're spraying your chrome paint, you don't want to spray it straight in there. You want to like 10 psi, possibly if you can get it that low, 10 psi, maybe 15, and you haze it in there at an angle, and you just haze it. You don't pile the paint on there; it's going to lose the effect. You haze it, and you just, what I will do, I'll put these on a toothpick where I can spin it in my fingers, and I'll just I'll hold the airbrush at the same angle, and as I'm spraying it, I'm turning the wheel and just haze it, haze it, haze it, haze it. First, I will hit the edge, the outside edge, because you can see a little bit of your wheel on the edge. So I'll hit the edge of it, and then I'll about that angle right there. And then maybe just a shot or so in the middle just to hit the center cap and the wheel, the lug nuts and all that, and you'll get you a great finish. So I got the Green Stuff World Chrome Metal, and then I got this. I've never tried this before, but I thought, you know what? It's called Black Chrome, and it's a very reflective black. So instead of it being shiny chrome, it's black instead. And I thought, man, for like a custom Pro Touring or Pro Mod, if you painted the bumpers and the grill in all black chrome, man, that would look killer. Maybe even the wheels. So I'm going to try some of this stuff. Green Stuff World Black Chrome, and this is airbrush. He has, the majority that he has is brushable, and this is some great stuff to brush on too. If you get the brushable, you just brush it on, and it's some great chrome. Yeah, black chrome. And then I got another bottle of this stuff. This stuff is wonderful. Green Stuff World Liquid Mask. It's got a little brush inside it, so it's attached to your cap. And if you need to, let's just say you're painting a door card, but you want to keep the armrest. Let's say you painted the door card black and you want to paint the rest of it a tan color, but you want your armrest black. You can take this and you can put a coat of that on your armrest. It's just rubber, really, is what it is. And you can then paint your door card whatever color, and then when it's dry, you can peel this stuff off, and it has completely masked off like if you were to use masking tape. I found it being very useful on small things like that, because it's almost impossible to, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult to get masking tape on something really small. So you can use this stuff. It works great. It's in a nice glass bottle. So yeah, that stuff's wonderful. And I got my first bottle of Alclad copper. So ALC 110. So copper. I came across a build a while back that I was like, I've got copper in there somewhere, and I got to looking through all my colors. I didn't have copper. I wanted to do copper anyway. Just so happens that HobbyNutModels.com has copper Alclad, and so next time I have that need to paint something copper, there we go. And yeah, there you go. All right, and a few tools that I got, or things such as tools. I got these ammo sanding sticks. These things are super thin, really thin, and I found that they would probably come in very useful sanding around, like in your vent window areas. If you have some flash or something you need, or just need to clean it up, because they're so thin, you could get right in there and clean that up. They come in 120, 180, 240, 320, 1200, and 1500. So those will come in very handy, getting in those hard to reach places where you can't use the normal sanding stick because they're a little too thin. You can get right up in there with that. And I also got a AK craft saw. This has little blades inside here that attach to this, almost like a pin vise or an X-Acto knife holder, but it's got blades in there. So that's the different blades that it has. So you can get in there and do some sawing or whatever you need to do in those hard to reach places. So I thought that would be very handy. And yeah, you never know what you're going to find over at Hobby Nut Models. He's got all kind of cool tools. And here is border, well, you can't hardly see, border tools. And this is a 0.1 millimeter fine engraving blade. So it's got a really small tip there, cleaning up some of those panel lines and things like that. There's other thicknesses too. I got this one. I'm going to try the smallest one first, and if I need a bigger one, then, and you can see what it it's just like a hook on the end, so I'll be able to clean up some of those panel lines that the engraving tool, or the tool I have now, is a little too big, so I figured I'd try that. And so that's what I bought. And then check out what Mark sent. And I have not seen this kit until right now, or when I opened the box, but it's the Mobius. Get that out of the way, that's really glaring. Oh, that helped a lot. The Mobius Chrysler 300B. I think this is curbside, because when I was looking at what it was talking about, it doesn't show a picture of an engine. Highly detailed interior, authentic chassis with dual exhaust. And it's a skill level 3, and what a nice looking car. That is beautiful. Two-door Chrysler 300, and if I'm not mistaken, they just stopped making the 300s. I think they just made the last one. And yeah, I think that was the 300 that they just ceased production on. So yeah, this is really cool. Love the box art too. Love the 50s. It reminds me of my friend Henry Robb's mid-century. I just dig the mid-century stuff too. It's my favorite architecture, and yeah, it's really cool. Now my favorite cars are early 1900s, maybe late 1800s, early 1900s. That's my favorite era car. But as far as Art Deco, or whatever you want to call it, architecture, I love mid-century stuff. I think it's the coolest ever. I love when you drive by and you see a house and you can just say, yeah, that thing was built in the mid 50s or early 50s. So yeah, thank you to Mark for sending this, especially because this was a surprise. And thank you, Mark, for all of your support over the years now, supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. So if you guys haven't already gone over to check out hobbynutmodels.com, go do that. It's linked in the description of every video. Go check it out. Go grab yourself something. If you were to use the link that's in the description, it will take you directly there. And if you do happen to purchase something, I'll get a little credit here. That'll help a lot. But if not, still go over to hobbynutmodels.com and check out everything that Mark has to offer over there. Greatly appreciate it, Mark. Thank you so much again for your support. I want to say thank you to you guys for all of your continued support. Haven't been putting out as many videos. I've been printing on the 3D printer as much as possible, and just working with the website. And Ellie's been super busy, so thank you. Got several happy birthday wishes on some of the order invoices, and that was really cool, where they can put in a message. So Ellie's birthday's on the 19th. I think today is the 16th, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys wish Ellie a happy birthday, and maybe she can get that learner permit. She's been taking a bunch of practice tests on her for the driver's permit, and hopefully she can get that pretty quick. And ooh boy, another one on the road. Man, insurance just goes up. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for all you do. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you to my Patreon members too. You guys are great. I really appreciate all of your support. Go check out hobbynutmodels.com, and guys, we'll see you real soon. Take care.